Hi everybody and welcome to my next tutorial. My name is Maltenan and today I will show you how we can create this ambient light effect around a TV screen or on the slideshow, because we are going to create a slideshow as well using the same technique to alter the color of the background. So we have two tutorials instead of one today, and this is inspired by something that one of the TV producers has introduced into his new plasma TVs, and I thought this is pretty cool idea to just create this ambient lighting around the TV. So I will show you how we can create a layer that will grab the color from the footage and just create this ambient light. And this is the slideshow that we are going to do today. And as you can see, the background, whatever it is, it adapts its color to whatever is on the photos, and this is pretty nice, and no expressions involved. It is all done automatically by some clever layer filters and stuff like that. So let's just move on. Let me just close this, and let me just get rid of these unnecessary compositions. We are going to rebuild them. Well, this is the footage that we are going to use in our plasma TV composition. Nothing interesting going on in here, so let's just leave it as it is, and let's create a new composition. Let's call this plasma. And first of all, let's create a background. Let's use some brightness contrast, maybe -40 something, -50, -50, maybe even more, 80. That's about it. Okay. And the next thing, let's just drag our footage comp and just scale it down a bit. And next, we're going to draw a TV. So let's create a new solid. Let's move it below the original footage. I think that's about it. And the next thing, let's create this box that goes below. Let's call this frame, and let's call this box. Okay, I think that's it. Pretty easy, I must say. Okay, and now we're going to create this ambient lighting around the TV. So let me just duplicate this footage layer and move it below, because we're going to do the lighting behind the TV. And first of all, you might think, come on, what's the big deal, right? Let's just use the blur filter and that's it. Well, not exactly. Let me just show you how the blur would look on this blur alone. As you can see, there's not much change. We would need to scale this up a bit, and that's it, right? Well, not exactly. Look closely. We have too much details going on in this lighting, and I don't think we want that. We want this to be somehow the average of the all colors on the in the composition. So let's do that right now. And there are actually a few ways to achieve this, and I will show you the two of them that I've came up with. We might try using color link filter. That basically gives us the average or the median or the brightest areas and stuff like that. We're going to leave this to its default settings, which is average. Now let's apply the blur filter. Fast blur would do just fine. And let's just blur it out a bit, and let's scale it down. I think that's about it. But the thing is, what I've noticed watching the presentations of these plasma TVs is that they don't emit just one color. They emit 4 colors, you know, just each in one corner. So we're going to do this as well. So when the guy is in this portion of the screen, it will probably give us a little bit brighter light in here. So we are not going to use color link to do this. We are going to use a mosaic filter, which works a bit different, because you might think, okay, so I can use mosaic filter instead of color link with just using, you know, just one block. Well, this is basically true, but not really, because what I think mosaic does, it just divides the whole composition to the number that you put in here, and it takes the pixel that's in the middle. So this would be this pixel, and it looks like it is. So we don't want that. Well, we don't want to use mosaic instead of color link if we want to have just one color, right? But if we want to have 4 colors, we can easily use mosaic filter to get the effect. And this looks a bit better, I think. That's right. And this doesn't really look like a light, so I think we could pump it up a little bit by using some hue saturation adjustments. So let's just apply those, and let's pump up the saturation and the master lightness to something like this, I think. Let's just see how the blue looks. Well, the blue looks okay also. And basically that's it. Let me just render this out for you. Well, this looks okay, I think. And now let's do something more useful with this technique, which is creating a slideshow and then changing the color of the background. So now we're just going to create a slideshow composition. I'm going to use square pixels, 800 by 600, because these are the size of my photos. Let's make each photo 2 seconds long. Okay, now let's just drag all the photos in here, and we can turn this off for now, and let's create some animation with these photos. Well, first of all, I would like them to scale down and to start off the, you know, burned out to white effect. So let's just press S on the keyboard. We might as well select all the layers and hit the stopwatch. Go to the 2 seconds marker, and let's set this to 80%. I think that's about it. And we can also use some easing in this area. Animation, keyframe assistant, easy ease. That's okay. Now we can close this and go to levels. I think levels would do just fine to create this burning out effect. Something like this would do. So let's hit stopwatch on this histogram and let's move forward a bit and let's reset the settings. And I think that's it. Now let's just select the effects and the keyframes just to make sure. Hit Ctrl C, select the rest of the layers, press Ctrl V to paste, and let's just check the random layer, one of the layers. Well, I think it looks okay. So now let's just create a final composition for this. Let's call this Slideshow, and let's create a new comp, which is our destination resolution, destination settings. Let's make this 10 seconds long, and let's call this final slideshow. And oh, I forgot one thing, sorry for that. Now we have all the photos animating at the same time, and we don't want that. We want each photo to take 2 seconds, and we have 5 photos, so the composition has to be 10 seconds long as well. And now we would have to move this like this, holding shift to snap to the endpoint marker. But we can also just select all the layers and go to Animation Keyframe Assistant, Sequence Layers. We don't want them to overlap, so let's leave this turned off. And this is it. Okay, great. Now let's go to the final slideshow. Let's create some background. I think I can use one of my presets that I've created for my client. This is okay. The color doesn't really matter right now because we're going to change the color anyway. So let's just grab the slideshow composition. Let's drag it into our comp. Let's make it a bit smaller. And maybe let's add some drop shadow. This is also a preset which consists just of 2 drop shadows effects with different settings, so nothing exciting about that. And now let's just create a duplicate of this layer, or we can just drag another instance, and here we're going to use our color link effect with the default settings, so the average. And as you can see, we already have the color matching the photo, but we want this to alter the color of the background. So to do that, just change the transfer mode to hue or to color. Let's try color. And voila, that's it. Let me just render this out for you. And that's it. Let me just turn this to full screen. Well, it looks pretty nice. It looks pretty awesome, I think. So, once again, this is Meltenon. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and you can find other tutorials on my website www.meltenon.com. See you there. Cheers.